What if I told you that the thing you keep trying to run from is actually the door to your next breakthrough? No, really. What if the tightness in your chest, the heat on your face, the moment that makes you want to shut down or lash out is actually your upgrade in disguise? We're talking about transmutation, the process of turning your most painful triggers into transformational power. If you ever asked yourself, why does that one comment wreck me? Why can't I get past what I did? Why can't I get past what they did? Why do I keep falling into the same emotional sinkhole? Then this isn't just an episode, it's a divine interruption. I'm Raquel, your GPS for success. Let's get started. Breakthrough. So let's start here. A trigger is not a sign that you are broken. It's actually a signal that something deeper is ready to be surfaced. It's actually a signal that something deeper is ready to come to light. And when you understand how to decode the signal, you stop reacting and you start rewiring. So let's start with a working definition of a trigger so that we're on the same page. A trigger is not immaturity. It is not weakness. Think of a trigger as a portal, as an open door opportunity. It's a flash of an insight of a deeper pattern, one that's been rehearsed so many times. Your body's responding before your brain even catches up. And it's actually been shown that your body is picking up things like 7 seconds before you're consciously aware of what's going on. 7 seconds. Your body is picking something up. So it's not just emotional, it's actually neurological. Let me explain. Your nervous system is designed to protect you, which is why when I'm recording this, there's a lot of talk around emotional regulation. When something in your environment even slightly resembles something that caused a past wound, your body starts sending up a warning flare. Danger, danger. This is why you can meet someone who maybe looks like somebody else and that person wounded you, or they have like familiar characteristics and you're like, I don't like that person and I don't know why. Why? Because it feels familiar. Like we've been there before. We're not going down that road again. We're going to shut it down or we're going to lash out before something even happens. And boom, there's the trigger. But here's what I want you to hear with your whole heart. That flare is not punishment. It's permission. Permission to pause, permission to get curious, permission to go deeper. Every time that you're triggered, your system is showing you where something needs love, truth, alignment. This is why I say that your triggers, it's a grace point. Triggers are good. Don't run from them. Think of it this way. This is where that old identity is being confronted. Your new identity, who you really are, has a chance to rise. So scripturally, think about what Paul wrote in Romans 8. Verse 28 reads, all things work together for good to them that love God. All things, even this, even that trigger, even the trigger that you hate. God does not waste pain. And in his mercy, he's going to allow old wounds to echo. These situations will come up not to re-traumatize you. It's actually revealing to you where you have been rehearsing the pain instead of revealing the truth. So instead of saying, why is this happening to me again? What if you start asking instead? Part of me is God inviting into healing right now. We're not afraid of the triggers anymore because we know how to transmute it. And that's exactly what I'm going to help you do today. So now that we've defined what triggers really are, they're not glitches, they're grace points. Let's talk about how we can use them instead of being used by them. And this is where my ACT model comes in. ACT is awareness, capture, and transmute. It's very simple, but it's really powerful. God made it very simple for us to do to level the playing field. Anyone can do it. It doesn't matter what kind of background you have. It doesn't matter if you don't think you're smart enough or all these other negative things that we think about ourselves. It doesn't matter. He makes it very simple so we can level the playing field. And then once you understand how to work this model, you'll start to see the trigger as a divine signal, not a dead end. So let's break it down. A is for awareness. Think of it like that aha moment, like, wait, you caught a thought that is negative or maybe so familiar and you're like, I don't want to live that life anymore. Imagine that aha moment, that awareness like a doorway. You can't change what you won't name. What's not confronted is not changed, and naming it helps you to confront it and do something about it. Now, most of us are walking through life unconsciously. Like 95% of the thoughts or the actions that you're actually taking today are subconscious. There is this great quote that I love by Cindy Trim. What if the things are the way they are because you are the way you are? Ouch. But also, what is the one thing that you can change today that would change everything? 80% of the thoughts that you're having or yesterday, you're going to have the same thoughts today unless you interrupt it, unless you do something. And what's great about this is that it doesn't take that long. So the one thing that can change everything is by just taking a few minutes to do some self-care. When a trigger comes up, I'm going to walk you right through it. This is what you're going to do to change the outcome so that you will start to have new automatic actions. And because you're going to have new automatic actions, you're going to get different results, better ones. So once you learn to spot it, you're going to be able to take back control. And for those of us who are control freaks, it's like, yeah. So what does awareness sound like? It can sound like, wow, that comment hit harder than I expected. My chest just got tight. I feel like I want to shut down. I feel like I want to explode. You know, I don't want to respond in this moment. I'm responding to a memory. Here's the truth. Most triggers are not even responding to the moment that you're in. They're actually responding to the thing that created it. It's responding to the past. It's responding to what was rehearsed, which is false, limiting, and is just trying to protect you. It's not really protecting you. It's just really keeping you in the confines of your own belief system. And this is why noticing it, having that awareness is not just noticing the pain. You're actually locating the pattern. I talked about this in episode 4. It was that quote that I found that said, what was that again? We need to break the pattern before the pattern breaks us. And patterns have been breaking us. We all have these, blind spots in our belief systems. But this is God bringing us grace. And when we catch it, when we are purposeful and evaluating our thoughts and doing what scripture says to capture them and make them obedient. And that's why awareness is not just noticing the pain, it's locating the pattern. And like I said from that quote last week, we need to break the patterns before the patterns break us. And the patterns have been breaking us. But we all have those blind spots. But today, things are going to shift for you. What is C? C is capture. What you're really looking at is, what am I believing now? Thoughts that are going unchecked, they start to shape your beliefs. And your beliefs, they're driving your behavior. So if you don't capture your thoughts, beloved, your thoughts will capture you. Now, here's the neuroscience around it. The moment that you put language to that experience, you shift it from the limbic system, which is your fight or flight, the prefrontal cortex, your executive functioning center. That's your reasoning brain. That's why you want to name it before it starts to frame some kind of belief system in you or reinforce a belief system that is not serving you. If you don't name the thought, it starts to become the lens of which you're looking at everything. So here are some questions that you can ask to capture the phrase. What belief just got activated in me? What memory or moment does this remind me of? What identity am I slipping into right now? And am I abandoned? Am I the overlooked one? Am I the one who always has to fix things? When you're capturing it in real time, you remove its power to control you. It can no longer control you from the shadows. This is how you start to disrupt the loop. T is for transmute. What is the highest truth? And what do we know? The highest truth is the truth, and the truth is in Jesus. This is the part that most people skip. This isn't about creating a prettier affirmation. It's about emotionally converting that trigger. And you're transforming it into an anchor. Truth about who you really are, who God says you are. This is a divine exchange. And this is where Isaiah 61 comes in. To bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, the garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. You're literally exchanging those survival thoughts for one that is spirit led and will bring you life. So let me explain the science behind this moment. Every emotion is releasing a cocktail of chemicals in your body because it goes thoughts, emotions, actions. And when the thoughts start to create the emotions for it, that's why no thought is innocent. Every thought that you're holding on to starts to kick in emotions, and emotions start to release chemicals. So you can be in chemical bliss or in chemical chaos. It's really up to you. It's really caused by the thoughts that you are choosing. It doesn't feel like a choice sometimes, but these are the thoughts that you're choosing to think about. God has given you that autonomy. You get to control that. And you get to control what your automatic thoughts are going to be by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. That is how you're transformed. But it's something that has to be done on a daily basis. And doing this practice for a few minutes a day is going to create that compound effect. It will snowball. So if you're just stuffing it down like I did when I was, knee deep into toxic positivity, what happens? It gets stored in your body. And for me, that ended up manifesting as type 2 diabetes because I wasn't dealing with it. I was trying to be positive. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. That has a place, but there's also a place for you to confront the things. And I was not confronting them. I wasn't confronting it. And then I was calling that faith. And it almost took me out because God wants us free. And we want the emotion to move, to breathe, to transmute. We get to assign the meaning to whatever is happening. We get to assign the meaning to the thoughts that we're having. We get to create something new. It's like this. Old emotion plus new meaning equals upgraded wiring. That's how grief becomes purpose. That's how shame becomes courage, how fear becomes direction. Because you're no longer suppressing the energy, you are redirecting it. Now, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. So let's just say you're one, and you end up posting something that's very vulnerable and you get no reactions. You might feel like a punch in the gut, a drop in your stomach, a lying voice that says, see, nobody cares. You're invisible. The algorithm hates you. So what do? Act. Awareness. Like, wait, okay, I'm triggered by that. I'm having an emotional reaction. I'm having some thoughts about people not engaging with my post. See, capture. Ask yourself, what is the story that I'm telling myself right now? Are you taking on this belief? I'm not valuable unless I'm validated. T, transmute. Just stop. Take a few breaths and then transmute it. You get to assign meaning. So a meaning that you can assign to this could be, even when no one claps, my voice is still carrying weight. God sees me. My worth is not in the applause. It's anchored in heaven. I am called. I am equipped. I'm showing up, and that's enough. And that, my friends, is emotional alchemy. Now, Romans 8:28 doesn't say just the good things. It says all things work together for good. Yes, even the things that make you flinch, even the things that make you mad, even the things that make you sad, whatever is making you have a trigger. God's not asking you to avoid the triggers. He's asking you, it's an invitation to meet him there. Let him reveal the truth that will set you free. And that's what transmutation is truth that's been embodied. You're not just saying, I'm loved. You're allowing your nervous system to feel love. You're not just quoting script, you're anchoring it in biology. When you do this kind of work, you are actually changing your brain chemistry. You have so much control. Now, with all of this, this is a deeper question. When you get triggered, what version of you is showing up? Is it the little girl who had to be perfect in order to be accepted? Is it the little boy who had to be silent in order to be safe? Is it the teenager who was mocked for their sensitivity and their passion? What version of you is coming up when you have that trigger? Again, you're getting that trigger from an old identity, an old version of you. That person doesn't even exist literally anymore. That version of you only exists in your mind and in your heart. And your brain is doing what the brain does. It's your helper. It's keeping you within your own belief systems. And there is a part of you that still is in agreement with that old version of yourself. So it starts to revert to those old roles, the old rules, and the old identity. Beloved, that's not you anymore. You are not your reaction. You are not your past. You are not the lie that your brain just learned to believe. And that's all it is. There's nothing wrong with you. Your brain is just functioning the way it was created to function. Those triggers, they're just echoes. It's not the truth. And when you walk through the ACT model with courage and consistency, you begin to close the loop and open the door to something better. You don't have to fear your triggers anymore. You get to face them with tools. You get to respond with truth. You get to rewrite what your brain believes is normal. So what should be, could be your normal, because from now on, your normal can look like peace, like clarity, like joy, like alignment. We're going to take a quick break. And during this few seconds break, go ahead and grab your journal, grab a pen, get your note app ready on your phone, because when we come back, I'm going to help you walk through this, and we're going to do it in real time together. You're not broken, beloved. You're just rehearsed, and you're well rehearsed. And today we're going to begin to rewrite that beautiful brain of yours. I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you for watching Prospera TV Network. We hope you're enjoying the show. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
You felt it, that nudge in your spirit, like something is off, but you can't explain why. Life isn't meant to be stuck on the same page. What if this is your red pill moment, the page where the story shifts? Hi, I'm Raquel, your GPS for success. In just one shift session, we'll break through the invisible script that's been holding you back. Fast, faith-filled, and neuroscience-backed. Book your shift session today at myshiftnow.net. You're not broken. You're just one choice away from breakthrough. Welcome back to One Breakthrough. Now I'm your coach in your pocket, Raquel, your GPS for success, and we are turning triggers into transformation today. The first part of this segment was the foundation, and I want to always give you that. This is why I split the show this way, because we're told, right? In all our getting, get understanding. And when you can understand, then you can stand under something. When you understand, then you can implement it, and implement it easy and consistently. So now that we understand what's going on, now we can do something about it. You've heard the science and you received the truth, but now it's time to practice real time. Now, my model is called the 1% ACT model. 1% is 1% or less of your day, which is 14 minutes and 40 seconds, which consequently is about the rest of this segment. Actually, once you do everything, it's going to take less than that. It takes about 7 minutes or so. It can even take 5 or 3 when you get really good at it. So literally almost no time at all in order for you to really transform what's happening. It always works, always. So let's begin with the first step, A for awareness. Take a moment to get still. Now, your brain is always multitasking because it's just the way it's created. It has to do a lot of things at once. But if you are multitasking, consider this next few minutes with me as part of your self-care for the day. I invite you to pause because this is not background noise. This is your soul work. And I call it that because we're also told somewhere else, right, that we will prosper and be in health as our soul, which is our mind, will, and emotions prospers. It is a perfect equation. Your soul is your mind, right? Your mindset. Your will, think of it like your director. It can push you in the moment. and your emotions. Your emotions are going to be impacted by what? The first thing, the mindset, or you can impact it by the sheer act of your will. Right now, we're going to do some breathing techniques, and you can just put your hand over your heart. When you do this and you take deep breaths in, what's happening is your parasympathetic system is being activated. And that part of your body, of your brain, actually is where rest and digestion is. So it's just like calming your body. This is why when you get triggered, if you take a few deep breaths, it starts to settle you down. And you want that, because when you have this high emotional thing happen, right? It's your the trigger, it's a high emotional event. What happens is that then you have all these chemicals going to your prefrontal cortex. Again, that's your decision maker, your conscious decision maker, and it actually drops your IQ 15 points. What does that mean? That means you're in a diminished capacity for thinking. And what breathing does is that it settles you back to your set points, and then you're back to your zone of genius. So let's just practice. And there is something about putting your hand on your heart. You can even tap here. Sometimes they do that too. Sometimes they do it with my collarbone as well. So take a deep breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Release through your mouth, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, take a deep breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Release for 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Your body's now getting settled. So now let's just bring awareness to this question. Where do I feel triggered the most lately? Let it come to the surface. Maybe it was a conversation you had last week, a comment on social media. Maybe somebody gave you a weird facial expression. Maybe it was a tone of voice that kind of make you shrink back. A moment when you wanted to speak, but then you didn't, and now you regret it. What was it for you? I'm going to give you 3 prompts. Prompt number 1, what happened? Don't over explain it. Don't edit it. Just say it or write it out. Did someone interrupt you? Did you get overlooked again at work? Did you try to be vulnerable and instead you got silence in return? Name the moment. That's how you're going to pull it out of the shadows. Prompt number 2, where did you feel that in your body? Did your chest get tight? Did your jaw clench? Did your stomach drop? Be specific. Your body is remembering what your mind's trying to forget. And it's not really forgetting it, it's just actually storing it in the brain. And when you start to feel it in your body, you can recognize kind of the pattern of it. You can catch it before it hijacks your peace. Prompt number 3, you believe about yourself. This is where you find the loop. What story did that moment confirm for your nervous system? Was it saying I'm invisible? I'm too much? I'm not worth staying for? I always mess things up. No one really gets me. I'm on my own. Pause. Breathe. Hear me. That belief is not who you are. It is not the truth. It is training. And if your brain was trained to believe that, you can train your brain to believe something else about yourself. You didn't choose it. You started to take it in as part of a survivor mechanism. But that moment was not meant for you to live that out for a lifetime. You learn to believe that in the moment in order for you to feel some kind of safety. But now we're going to thank it. Yes, we're going to thank it, and then we're going to release it because it's already done its job. You no longer need the protection. Who you learned to be in the past is now who you are becoming right now. Now we're going to capture the thought that's been driving the loop and begin to reclaim your voice. You've located the trigger. You know how it's showing up in your body. It's time to pull it out of the shadows. What stays unspoken becomes subconscious, and what stays in your subconscious becomes a stronghold. Strongholds are not necessarily bad. They can be good, but these are not the good ones. And God promised that every tree that he did not plant, he wants it rooted out. He will root it out. Those trees that he's talking about are your belief systems. A lot of times when people are talking about strongholds, they think it's external. Most of the strongholds are in here. And today we're going to start to pull some of those suckers down, pulling it up from the roots. So let's speak it. This is a capture part of the ACT model. This is where you become the observer of your thoughts, like a scientist. You're just looking at it like data. You're going to observe them instead of them captivating you. So grab your journal if you haven't already, and you can repeat these things in your mind just for now. Ready? I want you to gently ask yourself, what is the sentence my brain keeps playing on repeat? Not the polished version, not the nice churchy one. The raw one. The one that slips in when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're disappointed, when you feel rejected. And maybe it sounds like, I always mess things up. I am not safe when I'm visible. They'll leave if I say how I really feel. I'm too much. No one ever really picks me. It's just safer to stay small. I'm okay where I'm at. I don't need more. Write it down, because when you are writing it, you're making it visible. You're taking it from the unseen world, which is here, right? Your mental real estate, and you're bringing it into the 3D, into the visible. And what is visible can be healed. Now ask yourself, is this true or is it just familiar? Is it the truth or is it just trauma? Remember that only because a thought feels very loud, it doesn't mean that it's accurate. It just means that it's been repeated. It means that it's been rehearsed. That's it. It's actually gotten comfortable in the corners of your mind. Now ask, whose voice does that sound like? Was it a parent, a teacher, a friend, an ex? Is it your inner critic trying to sound like God? Let it come forward. This is not about shame. It's about letting it come up so you can release it. And really, a lot of our thought loops are actually echoes of other people's limitations. We were never broken. We were believing borrowed beliefs. Let's do another breathing exercise together. Breathe in through your nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Release through your mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. Breathe in through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Release through your mouth for 4, 3, 2, 1. You are safe to feel. You are safe to change. You are safe to rewire. Now that you've captured the old loop, now it's time to transmute it. This is where we turn that lie into truth, and not just a cute truth, a God-aligned, spirit-anchored, biology-embedded truth. So let's start with this question. What would I say to my child or my best friend if they believed this thought? What if your daughter said, I always mess things up? You would probably say something like, no, baby, you're just learning. There's nothing wrong with you. So ask, what did God say about me instead? Let heaven speak. If your old loop is saying, I'm not enough, heaven is saying, you're complete in me. If your old loop is saying, I'll never get it right, heaven is saying, you have the mind of Christ. If your loop is saying, I'm too late, heaven is saying, I will restore the years the locusts have eaten. Now write your transmutation statement. It'll look like something like this. I used to believe, whatever that was, but now I choose to believe whatever you want to believe. Try a few out. Speak them slowly, speak them honestly. Then you can write something like, I am no longer living in the residue of that reaction. I'm living in the revelation of who I am. Say it again. You're not trying to perform healing. You're embodying the truth. If it's the truth that sets you free, it's a lie that keeps you captive. And today, we've been exposing the lies that you are believing so that you can live your life free. And now that you've written the truth, we're going to anchor it. Your brain works best in order to rewire something when you're doing these 3 things together. repetition, emotion, and alignment. So let's engage all three. If you're able, stand up and start to walk around in your space. Speak your new truth while you are moving. If you're driving, then say it at a stoplight. If you're in a room, do it while you're stretching or you're pacing around. You are embedding it when you're doing this. You're making it real. You're actually creating coherence. Think of it like a new song that your nervous system gets to dance to. When your body feels the shift, your brain is getting the message. And actually vice versa too. So here's how you can root this into your daily rhythm. Again, is that Romans 12:2. You will be transformed by the renewing of your mind. But you have to do it on purpose. And it doesn't take very long. Read your new truth 5 times in the morning and then expect to see 5 pieces of evidence of proof during your day. Expect it. When you're expecting it, you're giving directions to your brain to go and look for it. That's the way it's always been working by default. But now you get to do it by design. And so proof can be somebody smiled at you. Oh, somebody smiled. Proof. You spoke up in a meeting. Proof. A lot of times for me, something will come up in my reels to confirm. Proof. You didn't over apologize. Good for you. Proof. And then you want to celebrate every single win, whether it's small, maybe it was a reel, maybe it was a smile, maybe it was a color, maybe it was a certain word. Whatever that was, you want to celebrate it like, oh yeah, there it goes. That's proof. Why? Because that's a signal to your brain. I want to see more of this. Yes to this. Send the signal back to your brain. So you're giving it like a feedback loop. You said it, you're like, okay, I'm saying these 5 things. I'm going to say this one thing 5 times. I'm going to expect to see proof of it throughout my day. And every time you catch it, it's like, oh, there was proof. And your brain's like, oh, it's working. Yes, it's always working. It's not just about repeating words, but repeating emotionally rich experiences. And it doesn't have to take long. You get to do it in motion, in worship, real life. Let it land in your body because you're no longer rehearsing rejection. You're rehearsing revelation. And that's where a lot of us miss it. I'm starting to engage and you're starting to engage with different parts of your brain. Your auditory cortex, because you're saying it out loud. Your your motor cortex, because you're moving. Your prefrontal cortex, right? Because you're being consciously aware. You're making a conscious choice to do something, to think something. And your limbic system, your emotion and memory center. So now, like we talked about before, right? Neurons that fire together, wire together. Now you're having all these different parts of your brain wiring and working together. It becomes a super highway of transformation. Like just by pacing, just by walking around. Yes, again, God makes it simple to level the playing field. And every time you repeat it, it's like laying down bricks to your new identity, which is actually not new. It's just actually who you are. You're just solidifying it. And here's the powerful thing. You don't need 21 days. You just need one moment with repeated intention for a few minutes a day. Let me remind you of something. Your triggers do not define you. They reveal you. Ouch. At least a part of you that you're still holding on to that really should be dead. It's showing you the script that you should be rewriting. It's showing you where heaven wants to enter. It's showing you what part of your story is ready to be transformed. You don't have to be afraid of your inner world when you were designed to lead it. And now you have the tools to do that. Taking the whisper of pain and turning it into the roar of purpose, transmuting every lie to a launching pad. And if this episode stirs something in you and you want to do a deeper work, then I invite you to get the workbook, Rewiring Reality, because you should be rewiring yourself daily, not just on Sundays. It's not just paper and prompts. It is a coaching experience. 1 page at a time. You'll find activation exercises just like this one. You're going to learn how to decode your patterns, confront those old loops, and build identity-based transformation from the inside out. And the first chapter that's audio and digital, it's yours as a gift from me to you because I want you to get started. Just visit the website for details. You had your one breakthrough now. And now you can continue to build on that because it's not about more effort. It's about aligned shift. And it's easy. Until next time, may God's riches and best be yours. Bye for now.
Breakthrough.
This is your Prospera era, where dreams align with grace, abundance flows like rivers. You've stepped into your place. Rise, reign, and remember, you were born to shine. Welcome to your moment, Prospera, it's time.
We hope you enjoyed today's show on Prospera TV Network. Make it a point to visit us on YouTube and catch all your favorite shows anytime you want. Interested in hosting a show of your own? Or advertising your business on our network? Contact Elena Rodriguez.